I wanted to talk about core beliefs and how to identify them. So, usually, when we have a thought or belief in our head, it's typically at the surface level. It's not really our core belief, but people don't necessarily know how to identify that core belief and work on that. They usually work on the surface level thought, and then there's not much progress that goes on. So, this technique is essentially based on CBT. You know how I feel about CBT, but there is some good stuff about CBT. So, this is essentially like the laddering technique. And essentially, what you do is you take that surface level thought, right? So, I created some examples here. So, a thought that you may have is, or a feeling that you may have, is that you're stressed about your job, right? Let's say that's your thought that you have at the surface level. So then you ask yourself two questions. First question starts with what if, and then you insert your thought or your belief. And then the second question is, what will this mean? So in this scenario, you would say, what if I am stressed about my job? What will this mean? So you ask yourself that, and let's say you say, if I'm stressed about my job, I won't function really well because you're stressed about it. So, and then you keep asking that question. So, what if you're not functioning really well? What does this mean? This means that I will have a poor performance in my everyday activities and my job, school, etc. Okay, so what would having a poor performance mean? What does that mean to you? What will this mean? This means that I will potentially get fired and not have a job. Okay, so what if you get fired and not have a job? What will this mean? This means that I won't have any money to support myself and I won't have a place to live. So you keep going. So, what does it mean for you to have no money and have no place to live? What will this mean to you? So, this will mean that I would be hopeless or I'd be miserable and I'd have nowhere to go. I'm completely useless. So, that would be your core belief right there. You would feel like you're useless. And one part of that would be the stress from your job because it's making you have a poor performance and it's making you essentially feel tired and not able to work your best. And when you're not doing that, there's a higher chance of you getting fired because you're not at your best performance. You see what that means, You can even say this if you're someone that goes to school. If you're stressed about school, you'll have a poor performance in school, which means that you could get bad grades. And when you get bad grades, you have a chance of you may not graduate. And then if might not graduate, you have a harder time getting a job or looking for the thing that you would like to do in your life. And if you don't have that, then you essentially feel hopeless or you feel like a failure. That would be your core belief right there. So let me know if you use this technique or if you and what's your core beliefs, and have you ever found your core beliefs or you've worked on your surface level thoughts.